Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well and staying safe. This is Radhika here again, and this video is going to be about how to undo narcissistic conditioning or societal conditioning if you want to take it in like more general narcissistic terms. That is like the collective narcissism of humans. Um, so this video was inspired by a comment that someone did on one of my posts. So I don't want to take the person's name, but I'm just going to read the comment. So the comment was about a post which was something about the ego, where ego is how we show up in the world, and ego is not just the ego is not who we are, because we have a lot more aspects to us than our ego. And ego is the way we basically show up in the world, like how people see us, how people perceive us or judge us in some way. Um, so the person has written that I'm a single. Actually, let me read the whole thing. This is true, but it still hurts me on a very deep level to be excluded so often, because I'm perceived so often by so many others to be low status. I'm a single mom, very modest job, average looking, middle aged. I want to make friends, and yet I'm metaphorically not on the guest list. How do I find my tribe? Would love a video about this. So I'm not addressing the last part. I want to make friends, because that's like a different topic. And how to find your tribe, that's kind of a different topic. But before you find your tribe, you definitely have to undo the conditioning that society has projected onto you, and that you have bought into, kind of like, in a way. Because that is like pre uh, a pre-step which is required before you can find your tribe. So this video is really for everything she mentions before that, and then I can make another video on how do you find your tribe or people you vibe with, etc. So thanks to the poster for the comment. Um, so so basically, all these things that the commenter has mentioned, like whatever other labels, like looks of a certain way, age is a certain number, like marital status is single or divorced, or like single mom, whatever, all these labels. So let's like look at this a little bit in detail, so that we can undo the conditioning that, and undo the weight that these labels kind of put on us. Um, so uh, just to start it out, what we have to understand is that society works on projections, and society as a whole um, is is understood logically by the human mind. And to understand it logically, we kind of have to segregate things. We kind of have to um, like we have to judge things. If you don't judge, you are not going to be able to work very well inside of a society. So society is always trying to box people in certain categories, like so and so is a single mom, so and so is happily married. And the happily married is something like an image that a couple will project out into the world. So maybe you see their Facebook page, and it has like a big house, they have nice cars, they have kids, and the kids are always like smiling in the pictures, everyone's looking all pretty. So this is a projection, they, and now with social media, it's like a blank canvas for your projections. So you can show the world what you want to show them. So if a couple is fighting every day in their own house, but they want to show the world that we are happy, they have a platform to do that. And somehow, when we look at all these things, like we look at Instagram, we look at Facebook, we look at, I don't know, even all the new platforms, I don't even use them, but like TikTok, whatever all these new things are, it's it's like a canvas where, if me, I want to project that I live this high life which is very rich, I have lavish parties, I'm always looking perfect, whatever you want to project, you can actually project onto that. So what I'm trying to say is the whole society is based on projections, and you can decide when you want to spend your whole life projecting out a life, or projecting out an image that you want to project so that others perceive you a certain way. And that's what most people do, or most people who are more on the narcissistic spectrum, where they want validation from the outside in. So validation for them has to come from the number of likes they get, the number of comments they get, the type of comments they get, etc. And they have bought into this, so now it's kind of like they are a fish and they're hooked on this, they're hooked onto this rod which the society has given them, and now society is going to pull them. So tomorrow, if you know, like a particular type of gadget is really popular, these people, they are hooked onto that, and now they're going to buy this gadget and they're going to put it on their social media to say, see, I bought this, so now I am in, you know, like I'm in with the crowd, or whatever they want to like project. So that is the way society gives labels to things, right? And that's how you, or that's how most of us judge ourselves, because what society considers good, we think is good. So if being married is good, we think, oh, if I'm not married, that's not a good thing, or if I'm single, if I got divorced, that's a bad thing. But who has put this idea in your brain that this is good and this is bad? Ultimately it's the society, or if you live in a community which has more or less bought into the idea of the society, which goes according to societal norms, then yes, then if most of your relatives are married, if most of your relatives had successful marriages and you did not, then they are going to like project this idea onto you that we have a better life and you don't. And that's because they have also bought into the societal conditioning, and in some way, by following this societal conditioning, they kind of build their ego up. They feel like, oh, I am valid in this society, but so and so is not, you know. So that's their conditioning. Now empaths, if you are an empath, you will at some point in your life kind of see through this illusion of societal conditioning, because you are operating at a level which is a little bit behind, which is a little bit behind this societal conditioning. So say if societal conditioning gives you a mask of your ego to wear in front of the world, empaths, what happens is they can see through these masks, you know, they can see through these illusions a little bit more. I don't know how, and I think like my assumption is they can see through it because at their core they feel this feeling of oneness to a higher level. Because they are so empathetic, they actually feel other people's emotions and feelings to a greater level. And so many times they will feel that no, we all are equal, no matter what our like monetary status is, how big a house you own, whether it's a beggar or it's a king. When they cry, they basically feel the same emotions. When they laugh, they feel the same emotions. So ultimately the undercurrent of everyone is similar. And when you are connecting to humans at that level, you kind of see through these illusions or these masks that people are putting up of, oh, I'm better than so and so, or so and so is lesser than me, Or if someone feels that I am inferior to someone, and an empath will feel like, no, you're really not. You just think you are, because you have bought into a certain kind of thinking yourself. Um, so so that's why if you are an empath, you'll kind of have to deal with this duality, where you see that I am equal to everyone, but maybe at this point in life you're not in the high tide, you're in the low tide, where you feel that I'm single, whatever, I'm aging, whatever are the complexes that you feel at this certain point of your life. Um, if you are feeling that, you will feel this duality where you inside yourself know that I'm good enough in every way, but the projection that society is giving to you is that you're not good enough. So now let's look at this in three ways. So the first way is practical, which I have been talking for the last whatever minutes. So the practical way of dealing with this is that, think about it. Think about the labels you're putting on yourself. So if you say single mother, so basically it's kind of like you feel bad that you don't have a partner, etc., etc. And what this so you have to go like a level deeper in this. So you have to think that, why does society push for people to be married? Why do they do that? So they do that because marriages are usually a form of a religious ceremony. So when religions were formed, they had to create like a stronghold on humans. They wanted to get more people onto their religion. So that's why you see in history there are so many religious wars, where religions have taken some people and asked them to convert forcefully to their, so it's like power games, under the name of religion. Um, so basically, religion has taken over this aspect of marrying someone, and then once you get married under a certain religion, you have babies. So then when you have babies, your babies are going to be of that religion, and then the babies are going to have ceremonies, and then they are going to get married again, and so the cycle continues. So it's like a subscription model, like the religion has gotten you as a subscriber into their model, and now they want to keep you into the same religion. And that's why divorce is a bad thing, uh, because if you divorce, you're kind of going against your religion. So and so basically you have to kind of understand the basis of all the things that you are labeling as bad, why they are bad. And then you will say, like, a modest job, right? Modest job meaning that you don't earn so much, you don't have a big title, and all of these things are like ways that capitalism gets you, like you need um like a VP or a CEO or someone will have a nicer office. They'll have a window so they can look outside at nature from their office while they have so much stress in their brain. So I mean, I'm laughing because there's a lot of irony in all of this. Um, so yeah, basically that's how capitalism hooks you in, because you want a high title, you want a high paying job, and underneath the surface what you get is more stress, less time with family, less time for yourself, less time for your health, etc. So yeah, that's capitalism, what you say, modest job. So when you kind of get to the root of all of the labels you have put on yourself, you will understand that these labels are considered as bad by society because they don't give anything back to the society. So it's all very conditional, and that's why we call it conditioning, because society conditions you to be a certain way so that you are useful, so that your body, mind, spirit is being used to build something that they want to build, not that you want to build. So that's why. And you are not bad, but basically if you are like, if you are in a very high paying job, you have you have a lot of status in society. You put like pics out on Facebook, you make other people jealous of you. Then what happens is it breeds competition. It breeds this sense of, I want to be that, I want to be that person. You don't feel happy with who you are. And when you don't feel happy with who you are, other people have more of a chance of influencing you to be who they want you to be. So that's why people and society, in a lot of ways, benefits when you don't know your own worth and when you are not happy with yourself. So that's the first part. Like, practically think about it. Think about why some labels are good and why some labels are bad. And if some people are good, why are they good? Like, why is a person who is married, who has a big, like, who goes to church, who helps people, why are they good? What is And there is definitely a heart aspect to all of this. So if a person is really doing this out of their heart to help people, that's a good thing. But if a person is doing it just to put pictures on Facebook and like make other people jealous, that's not a good thing. It's not going to help them grow spiritually. It might help them grow energetically in a way, because they are hooking on more people. Like, more people are looking at them and more people are trying to be like them in some way. And it's breeding competition, so it helps society in some way. People get inspired or they get jealous or whatever you can call it. And that's just a part of society. Society is always going to behave this way. You're not going to be able to change the way society operates, because it's a dual reality. It's a duality that we live in. So there is going to be people who thrive in competition, who love competition, who always want to compete with someone, because that is the way ego is designed. Now the soul, on other hand, is designed differently, but many people don't even get to go there in maybe this lifetime. Maybe in the next one they will. So yeah, so that's basically the practical aspect of it. That practically try to analyze that why you think these things are good or bad, and why they got to be good or bad. So that way you have like an understanding of what you are considering good and bad. Then let's look at it energetically. So energetically, whenever you feel like people are judging you, what is happening is you are also judging them and you are also judging yourself. So whenever a person who looks at you and says something, like, say they make a comment about the car you have, maybe like you have a Honda and they have like a really cool car, like a BMW or whatever, like some cool car is, I don't know, I'm not into cars. But say they make a comment on your Honda that, oh, it's like such a boring car or something like that. It will affect you only if you are also judging yourself for having like Honda as a car. But if you yourself are happy with Honda, with your car, then their comment doesn't really bother you. So, or another example, if they are making a comment on your age, like, oh, you're aging so much or something like that, or you're 50 already or something like that, if it affects you, it's because you do not want to age. So at that point, you have to look at it internally, that what do I equate this with? If they say you have a boring car, or if they say, oh, you're aging so much, what am I equating it with? In my life, what does my car signify to me? Does that signify to me how others perceive me? If that signifies how others perceive you, basically that means you are perceiving yourself with that same lens. So if others are accepting you only if you have a fancy car into their group, then that means you are also not accepting yourself the way you are until you get into that group. So So what I'm trying to say is, you are judging yourself, you are not accepting yourself with your boring Honda, with your aging, with your whatever, being single, etc. So you have to accept all of yourself the way you are in this moment, and you have to accept every so called flaw that you have, because it's not a flaw. As we said, as we looked at it in the first point, you have been programmed to believe that it is a flaw, but it's not a flaw. It The society made you feel it's a flaw because it wasn't helpful to them if you just were the way you are. So that's a major point, that you have to accept yourself as you are. And also, when you look at others, you also have to stop judging them. So if you are feeling judged, it's because you are also putting the other person on a pedestal. If someone says, oh, I have like a BMW or something, and you have a Honda, it's because you feel that BMW is higher than a Honda. But if you feel that a car is a car, it takes you from point A to point B, it doesn't matter to me what the car is, then you will feel like, okay, fine. He or she thinks that they are better than me, but I don't care because I feel that a car is a car. A car could be any car. So so if you kind of look at it in such a way, and if you stop judging yourself and don't judge them to be above you, because as the Buddha said, equality is not just thinking everyone else is equal. Equality is thinking I am equal to everyone else. So that way you don't have a superiority complex, you don't have an inferiority complex. You feel that every human being is equal. Even a homeless person is equal to the prime minister of the country or the president of the country. And every time like you have this negative voice, judgmental voice in your head going, you kind of have to bring yourself to that thinking that everyone is human, everyone is equal, no matter what their societal ranking is, or what their profession is, what kind of car they own, house they own, etc. So that's the energetic part of it. What is inside is outside. If you judge yourself, you feel judged. If you gossip about others, if you talk about others in such a way that, oh, he's so poor, oh, she's a whatever, so you also have to kind of see how you judge others. If you are judging others, you will feel judged by others, but if you accept others, you will feel accepted by others. So there is a it's like, when you clap, you need two hands to clap. So it's kind of like that, it goes both ways. This feeling of judgment or gossip, etc. um, and then the last thing I want to say is, like, look at it from a spiritual angle. So from a spiritual angle, if you go into like removal of all conditioning, that was basically all of Buddha's teaching. If you read about Buddhism, it's all about how you have been conditioned to believe that you are this human being with a name, like with Radhika. I will think I'm Radhika, this is my age, this is how I look, this is my job, this is my family status, etc. But if you read about certain religions or spirituality, what you realize is that you are just consciousness having this human experience. So this identity that you have is very temporary. It's really temporary. And the more you kind of go towards that kind of thinking, instead of judging, or instead of like kind of ranking yourself, that is he better than me, is she better than me, where do I stand in this friend group, how many people like me, etc., etc., what you will understand is that you are actually just having this experience as this human being to learn a lot of lessons, or to grow, to expand your consciousness. and the body mind is very temporary. You are not going to stay with this body mind for a very long time. Although I'm not trying to belittle the issue that you have brought out, because it is a big issue, especially if you have been raised by people who are more narcissistic and who have more of an earthly inclination where they judge everything based on very material things. It's definitely a big issue. So yeah, definitely, I'm not trying to belittle it, but I'm just trying to give you a more spiritual angle on it, which probably they will never understand, but hopefully you can understand, so that you can get out of this suffering, or this problem where you feel that others are not seeing my own worth, others are not seeing my worth. So what you have to do is you have to see your own worth, and you have to realize that all this is temporary. What they say, what they feel, what they talk about you, how they judge you, it's super temporary, because humans are anyways extremely fickle. Today they find entertainment in this, tomorrow they'll find entertainment in that. So you have to look for quality in the people. You have to look for quality people, and when you find quality people, you will not have such problems, because they will be able to see you beyond their own projections, and they will see you for who you are, for your core, for your essence. And when they see you like that, uh, they won't have to say anything to you. You will feel an extreme sense of fulfillment from inside of you, and you will feel an extreme sense of being, of I am this, and I am okay with this. I'm completely satisfied with who I am. So yeah, that's probably like your next question, is that how do I find my tribe. So you're going on the your thinking is in the right direction, that not everyone is going to see your worth. So you have to find your tribe. And hopefully this channel is one such like platform or avenue for you to find your tribe. And I'm sure there are many other platforms and channels like this on YouTube and other Instagram and other platforms. So try start with that first, and then so slowly, as you think about these points over and over again, like let it soak in, because it has been it has taken so many years of your life that you have lived through this societal conditioning, that it can't be undone in a day. So you kind of have to remind yourself of these points when you are on that downward spiral where you're feeling bad about yourself, or whatever these labels you want to give yourself, or people give you. You have to remind yourself of these points over and over again, and then slowly you will really internalize this, and the labels won't affect you anymore. And then once they don't affect you anymore, you won't have people in your surrounding who say such things to you anymore. So I hope this video was helpful to you and to whoever else is facing this problem. As always, thank you for supporting this channel, for commenting, liking, subscribing, sharing. And as always, I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thank you. Bye.